Knowing your spouse's love language doesn't mean that you are actually loving them well.
Welcome to Grace and Alignment, where we talk about marriage, business, and faith. I'm JW, and this is Sissy.
So, last time we shared our love language. Mine is acts of service, and JW's is the physical touch.
Yes.
We talked about how it shows up in our business, working together. And we also talked about just focusing on
hmm
how we're applying that understanding intentionally this new year. So, I thought it would be good to kind of carry on
Yeah.
this subject
Right.
for the new year and just, bring an awareness to your marriage, and whether you're married and you have two different jobs, or whether you're married and you're working together.
Where have we been loving from? Habit or being intentional?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It is. It's a great
Because,
question.
when I think what happens is when life gets busy, when
Yeah.
work or business, you just kind of go default. Like, this
Yeah.
is my default response,
Yeah. And,
right?
and you put a lot of focus on the habit, what you used to doing
And that's
or
just what you
doing
do.
routine thing. That's what you
Right. Yeah. So,
go
but
to.
I feel like with physical touch, last time we talked about the physical touch, acts of service for me.
Right.
Physical touch, you want to be careful being in the office. You want to always keep it professional,
Absolutely.
right? But physical touch, I have to be intentional
Yeah.
with that, with him, because that's how he loves me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to say, okay, like, let me give him a hug, or when we're out together, just getting out the car.
hmm
He actually is still a gentleman after 20 years. He'll open the door. And he'll grab my hand, and sometimes I'm like, I'm independent, I can get out myself. So I have to be intentional to hold his hand,
yeah.
things like that. That's that is me,
Yeah.
but that's how I have to love him, and he feels love with
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah. Right. So you have to also be careful when you in the office when what you say, by being a married couple for being married for 20 years, it can slip out in front of employees. Oh, babe, come here or whatever,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
meaning to say it. So you
yeah.
really have to be focused on what you're doing in the office with words
Hmm.
or being intentional too.
Yeah. But I do think working together exposed a lot of gaps,
It does. Yeah.
quickly, because, like we said on the last video, we didn't really bring it into the work. We didn't
Yeah.
bring the love languages into work. We just started working,
Right.
and we
Yeah.
felt like we could say anything to one another.
Yeah.
And when I got mad or whatever, or you got mad or frustrated,
Right.
we felt like we could say anything or do anything because we know each other so well,
Yeah. By
you know
being your husband and wife team. So we
and then you kind of got to back away from habit
Yep,
and be
you
intentional.
do. You do. Absolutely, you do.
Yeah, so I think for acts of service, the doing, the fixing, and carrying the load. Like,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on the intentional versus the habit part for you?
Well, the habit with the acts of service is just doing a few things around the office that I normally do, but the intentional part that I really need to do is, a lot of the things that you do, we have the people that I can take a lot of things off of your plate, like what I
Mm,
talked about before. So I need to be more intentional of that instead of just coming to you
right,
saying, "Hey, can you do this?
right.
Can
And
you
I
do
and
that?"
haven't I pointed that
You
out
have
to
pointed
you?
that out. So I need
So
to
I
be more
know, like,
intentional of
yeah,
going to the employees that
pre
we have in the office.
I'll
So
say for previous years, I'm like, well, we have this
yeah,
individual to do that. I know just because I can do it,
yeah,
or just because that person created it, started it,
yeah,
they were doing it, doesn't mean
yeah.
that I, as
That
co-CEO
yeah,
or whatever my title is.
but that was just part of my habit.
Hmm.
That's what the habit is of me always coming to you,
Right.
wanting you to do it because it's
Yeah.
easier. That's why I said I got to be more
Right.
intentional. We got more people too.
Yeah. So, because I could
So
be
for
at
me,
home
yeah,
and it could be 6 o'clock and he's talking about what needs to be done.
right,
And then because, you know, I'm different, I'll say, well, make a note or
yeah,
send a text, send an email. That individual will get it tomorrow.
right,
It doesn't have to be done through me,
yeah.
you know?
Intentional, intentional, intentional.
Yes.
That's what I'm screaming to myself now.
So this year we're going to slow down
Yeah,
and we're going to ask.
yeah, yeah.
How do we apply love languages when life and business gets heavy?
Stress changes how love is received.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Business adds urgency.
Mhm.
And I have a real live business urgency, something that happened, just this week. I had one of our larger contracts to call, and they needed a favor.
But we were what? Doing
Doing
something
something for ourselves,
us together in the
important,
car.
real important for
Yes.
us. So
Not for the
real
business.
important, not for the business. So this how I change. I'm on the phone making all kind of calls. I done really forgot about what we was doing for
Mhm.
ourselves.
Mhm.
Trying to get an employee that lives a couple hours away to go in on a day, really a day off, to take care of something for one of our larger
Yeah.
contracts. So I changed real quick. So I got to be
Right.
more intentional to not to do that, especially when we're doing something for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if God hadn't blessed me, because I'm a very impatient person, but here lately in the last year, so he's really been working with me with that.
Yes, he
It would have
has.
turned into,
He has.
you know,
Yeah.
a nasty conversation. But it didn't, because I'm partnered with him with the business.
Yeah.
I do know how important this was.
Right.
But first, we were what? Married first.
Married first. Yeah, was married first.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so you just have to be intentional, um, because if you don't, I think that eventually it can cause resentment.
Yeah.
If you don't say, well, okay, just 5 minutes, we're
Yeah.
still here. We were on time. We were actually early for our appointment,
Mm-hmm.
anyhow.
Yeah.
But this situation could have caused, you know,
Some conflict.
lateness,
Yeah.
conflict,
Yeah.
all the above.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
Yeah. So I know what I have to work on
Mhm.
because I am that one that when I get phone calls or something going on with the business, I can start out in the mornings being relaxed or whatever else, and I can get one phone call or see something on the schedule or a text, and I turn into Speedy Gonzalez or somebody just
And like I said
to
earlier, just because you can do it,
yeah,
that doesn't mean you have to do it all. That's
absolutely,
that's how, you know, we're not talking about scaling a business, but when you scale,
yeah,
you delegate, you hire, you want to scale, you
mm-hmm,
hire, and then you delegate,
right,
and then you oversee.
yeah. So
Philippians 2:3 through 4.
yeah,
Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility, count others more significant than yourselves.
Mhm.
Wow, that's good.
That
A lot of
is.
people
That's great.
struggle with that.
Yes.
Love languages require humility, serving without expectation. Don't always say, okay, well, what am I going to get out of this?
Hmm. Yeah.
Just serve with
Yeah.
that kind heart, because when you do that, you know you have God in you.
Right.
Being present without demanding, applying this verse at home and at work. Just um, that's good.
Yeah.
Selfish without selfish ambition or conceit.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
In closing, this year we're choosing intentional over assuming
Mm,
in marriage, in business, and how we show up for each other.
that's good.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
what's one way that you will try to love more intentional? Do
Yeah,
leave us a comment and let us know, because
yeah,
we're going to be doing this right with you,
yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
We're taking that oath right
We
now.
taking it to.
God's heard us, so
Yeah,
we're going to be doing that right with you,
yeah,
because you always need to focus on intention
you
instead of
do.
habit.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah. So, if you like this content today, so please
Like
like
and
and subscribe.
subscribe.
See you next time.